When your name is synonymous with an event, it's a window into your past. More than likely, your past success. On day 3, Stefan Petterhansel reminded everyone why he is Monsieur Dakar by claiming his 69th career stage victory. For Toyota, Dakar victory has always eluded them, and yesterday its drivers didn't get any closer. The key ingredients are wheels and fuel, and problems with both plagued the team's drivers. While in the bikes, Toby paid the price for poor navigation, lost the lead, and is now chasing Spain's red racer Juan Barreda. The Honda star was in a league of his own. Can this year finally be his year? There's been carnage, chaos, and more cows. Yes, this is the Dakar. Often than not, the scenery that provides the backdrop to the Dakar Rally each year looks more like a nation's tourism promotional video. The images are as grand and spectacular as the race itself. Today's route takes all classes out of Argentina and into Bolivia. The distance a whopping 258 miles of special stage, with the total travelled from San Salvador de Jujuy to Tupiza, 324 miles. The elevation and altitude are key here. The Bolivian plateau can be the breaking point for many. The challenge of navigating correctly on the previous stage unwound many. It was the first real test of Dakar 2017, and it had heads twisting and turning. And not everyone could hang on. The day couldn't have been more frustrating for the then rally leader Toby Price. KTM's top rider encountered many difficulties being first on road, and it cost him, dropping 17 minutes behind Honda hero Juan Barreda. The rider known as Bang Bang blitzed the field and grabbed the overall lead. And in the absolutely bizarre category, 10-time Dakar bike competitor Ivan Jakes was struck by lightning. His KTM bike acted as the grounding device and thus allowed the Slovakian to escape serious injury. The cherry on top, before going to hospital for a precautionary checkup, he finished 16th. With sunrise still several hours off, the riders left the bivouac in Jujuy with just 60 miles to cover before the start of the day's special. On the menu, sand and lots of it. The riders had to navigate their way through the Fesh and the dunes of the Cuesta de Lipan, all the while dealing with the immense increase in altitude. It promised to be another grueling day on the Dakar. Having lost time yesterday, defending champion Toby Price was looking to bounce back, but disaster was just down the road. With most of the day's special completed and headed for his second victory in 3 days, the KTM lead rider crashed and broke his left leg. The Australian star was later airlifted to a uni before being flown to hospital in La Paz. This was not only a shock to the field, but took one of the clear favourites out of the running. Frenchman Pierre-Alexandre René was hoping for another good day after coming third on stage 3. Sixth was his reward today, a big improvement on last year when he crashed out as a rookie on stage 4. Looking comfortable in the colossal dunes, Stefan Svitko. The Slovakian on his Sherco is very much an under-the-radar rider, but let's not forget he was runner-up last year, and today he was in the groove. Another solid result keeps him near the front. Pablo Gonçalves has been incredibly consistent in Dakar 2017 so far, although the Portuguese star didn't have the easiest day. First, he stopped to help out the injured Toby Price and was then penalised for an illegal refuelling.
Really tough stage for me today. At the beginning, I lost a lot of time looking for a waypoint. Then in the last part of the special, Toby was in front of me and crashed. So I stopped, of course, to help him out. I'm sure I'll get that time given back to me by the organisers.
Making the dunes look like his playground was Frenchman Adrien Van Beveren. He raced to 7th today. For Honda's Michael Metsch, falling off the back of a dune was nothing compared to the 1-hour penalty he received, just like Gonçalves for the improper refuelling. He was initially 3rd, only to see it evaporate. And the story just gets worse for the factory Honda Red racers. Rally leader Juan Barreda came home 2nd and was poised to increase his overall lead. But yes, you guessed right, another 1-hour penalty to him as well. What sounds like a broken record is, because the story was the same too for American Ricky Brabec. The second-year Dakar rider was hit with the same penalty, which hurts him massively in the overall picture. But penalties aside, nobody could touch KTM's Matthias Walkner. The Austrian was the only shining star for his team that were left in disbelief for what happened to Toby Price.
I feel actually at the beginning not so good, because also with the navigation still was tricky because many riders get lost and was lines everywhere. But then after kilometer 100 I feel pretty good on the bike, but I was thinking that it's enough for the victory.
It's Walkner's second Dakar career victory, and his result was the only one that stayed the same. Look at 2nd, 3rd and 9th, all Honda factory-supported riders were given a 1-hour time penalty for refuelling in a prohibited zone. De Soltre, Svitko and Quintanilla the big winners, and repeating, Toby Price out with a broken leg. Here's his team manager.
Yeah, it was a bad day for us, for the team, and especially for Toby. You know, he crashed on kilometer 370. It was in a river bed, and he was pushing to get some time back. And from 1 second to the other second, he don't know exactly what happened, but he crashed and he got injured. So they took him with the helicopter. We are very happy that 2 riders stopped for him. You know, they called the helicopter, and helicopter rescued him. And now he's on the way to La Paz to see the doctor.
The navigation was so tricky, and the sand, I mean, it rained, but the sand was still super soft, and I was having trouble getting through there. But I made a pretty big mistake early on, and cost me 12 minutes minimum. I think I have the worst brain cells and the best bike, so today wasn't good. I feel like I can't read the road book at all. I feel like it's my first time, so a lot of mistakes today, and I'm pretty mad.
And for the first time this year, Brabec is outside of the top 10. Chile's Pablo Quintanilla, the new leader, by just over 2 minutes. And remember that Juan Barreda is 41 minutes behind. And if the fact that all the Honda riders received that 1-hour penalty didn't shake things up enough, how about the fact that this guy, the reigning champ, Toby Price, is out? It's blowing things wide open in the bikes class. He's named after the event. He's a 12-time champion, and he's as good on 4 wheels as he is on 2. He's Monsieur Dakar, and he's back in the hunt. Did he keep his right foot down today? Let's find out next. The route for Dakar 2017 takes in some beautiful sights, including Purmamarca, the Lions Village. The town square hosts the daily artisans market, and the best time to visit is early morning or at sunset to best take in the beauty of the Hill of 7 Colours. Yesterday in the car class, as most crews struggled with navigation, there were 5 lead changes. Sebastian Loeb survived a puncture but held on to the overall lead. His Peugeot teammate Stefan Petter-Hansel benefited from the chaos and eventually took the lead when 2-time champion Nasser Al-Attiyah lost a wheel in the final section after heavy impact. The Qatari dropped 2 hours, and it was uncertain if the lead Toyota could actually return. However, after seeing these images taken by a fellow competitor's cell phone, it appeared his fate was sealed.
We hit a big rock with a big hole, and we take the wheel completely off, and after, you know, we come 80 kilometers to here without wheel.
Sportingly, it's the worst day of my career. It's a massive frustration because for the last 2 days and this morning we showed we were in the fight, and now it's game over.
Tough words from the team manager, but when the heavily damaged Toyota eventually arrived back at the bivouac,
We are here now.
it quickly became clear that repairs were not possible. Dakar 2017 over for two-time winner Nasser Al-Attiyah. So it was on to stage 4, and with a challenging day behind them, there was an even tougher test that lay ahead.
Yesterday was a hard day. I think today, with the high-altitude dunes and the likely bad weather in Bolivia, it's going to be another tough day for the tough guys.
A prophecy which came true for the opening Peugeot of yesterday's stage winner Peter Hansel, who lost a lot of time in the early part of this spectacular stage. Getting lost and stopping briefly, but he put his foot down for the rest of the stage and made up some time, 4th quickest on the day. At one point, 53-year-old Boris Garafulik of Chile was 3rd quickest, but fell back to 9th. It was another good day for Jakub Progonsky of Poland. After 6 years of Dakar on bikes, this is his 2nd on 4 wheels. Impressive to finish the stage 7th fastest, here saying goodbye to one of his former modes of racing. Speaking of farewells, Mini teammate Yazid Al-Raji had to retire by day's end. Unfortunate after starting the day in 6th. While the Dunas de Capricornio can be picturesque, they're also challenging. Sebastian Loeb struggled in the dunes, losing more than 20 minutes. But the WRC legend remained consistent on the back half to finish 5th today. These expanses are often tough to navigate, and that's where the co-pilot is crucial.
150, 2 caution bad. The 2 caution bad is coming now.
Spot-on instructions from Frenchman Michel Perrin to his Finnish teammate Mikko Hirvonen, helping the Mini to catch the leaders and finish 2nd. With Al-Attiyah out, the pressure of performing for Toyota fell on Nani Roma, and the 2014 champ succeeded. Starting 8th, Roma was quickest after the 2nd waypoint and ended up 3rd on the day. For Carlos Sainz, stage 4 started poorly as he lost 10 minutes early on. But between the final 2 waypoints, his Dakar took a crushing turn. The story of Sainz not finishing has become all too familiar in recent years, but he's lucky to be uninjured based on the damage to the Peugeot. And Carlos himself got to see just how close he came to something more serious thanks to a fan's cell phone. But then in an incredible turnaround for Peugeot, as one champion goes out, another was winning the stage. Cyril Dupre, the 5-time bikes winner in his 17th Dakar, was winning his first stage in 3 years in a car, taking the overall lead after starting the day 7th. Dupre and his Peugeot teammate Stefan Peter Hansel are the best on motorcycles in Dakar history, with 33 stage wins each. But of course, Peter Hansel has one more title. This recent transition for cars is working out for Dupre. That's his 34th stage win of his career, 6th on the all-time list with a margin of 10 minutes over Hirvonen and almost 13 over Roma.
We were completely lost. We start, we opened the map, we did to try to do a point. And after we decided to go off-road to the next point, but I go in a big hole with a small river, and we stuck during 20 minutes.
It was good. It was really tough, really tricky in the beginning, but Michel did a fantastic job over there, and like after 70k something, we catched Stefan Peter Hansel and Carlos Sainz. We passed them, but I fought as hard as I could all the way in the end, and finally it's not too bad. We are still in the game, so you know, it's not over yet.
We overtake Carlos, and Carlos overtake us, and we stay the whole day together, trying to keep the rhythm of Carlos Sainz. It's quite tough, but we made it, and unfortunately he rolled the car a few Ks ago.
I have a little bit of pain in my back. The accident was quite hard. Lucas has some pain in the knee, but nothing serious. I need to check now with the doctor also how I wake up, and also if they can repair the car or not.
Perhaps the most alarming aspect to this story is it's now 4 years in succession that Carlos Sainz has been forced to retire from the Dakar Rally. In 2014, out in stage 10 while racing the SMG buggy. The story is the same as far as he can walk away, but the scenes are getting scarier and scarier. And the question begs, for this 2010 Dakar Rally champion and the winner of 2 World Rally titles, is it time for the 54-year-old Spaniard to hang up the helmet? So day 4 brings quite a shake-up in the overall standings. There's still a Peugeot on top, but it's Dupre with a 4-minute advantage over Peter Hansel. Just look at how close the battle is between 2nd to 4th. How extreme have these last 2 days been at the Dakar? A small sample comes your way as our coverage continues here on NBCSN. The Bolivian high plains are a feature of Dakar 2017, but they can also be the breaker. The rally has gone off-road, and for the first time the competitors have had to deal with fesh, the fine powdery sand that makes it hard to see, hard to move, hard to even breathe. For some, this is a nightmare turned real.
That's the Dakar. We've got stuck in the sand 5 times. There's a lot of fesh, and with the high altitude, it's hard to breathe. We had a big shock and damaged the battery. And now we've got connection problems. I don't have any current up here. I don't have any contact. There is no contact.
In the wilderness, help isn't easy to come by. But in the most unlikely of places, help seems to appear.
Well, someone said there was a village 20 kilometers away. I'm going to try to find it.
Sometimes the help is instant, and other times you have to wait. There was some absolutely breathtaking scenery as the quads made their way between Argentina and Bolivia. And it would turn out to be a very memorable day for Walter Nasiglia. The Bolivian turned 55 yesterday and decided to give himself a late birthday present as he took an impressive victory on the first stage in his native country. Sergei Karyakin came second to move into the lead overall. 2014 winner Ignacio Casale was over 30 minutes off the pace, but he's within 30 seconds of Karyakin. After the break, the trucks roll. Being a reigning champ doesn't guarantee a smooth ride, especially when the blue armada of Kamaz is in the field. The earth shakes. Next. The Bolivian Andes are massive in scale, as are the trucks that race the Dakar. A day after the mighty Kamaz took their first stage win of this rally, 2015 champion Arat Mardiev looked like he might do the same today. Last year's runner-up led most of the stage, but fell back to second. Think it's fun to drive these 35,000-pound giants in the sand? Just ask Pascal de Bar of the Netherlands, who has to maneuver his truck through traffic. He finished 6th, but that was a close call. And watch stage 1 winner, Martin Colomy. So tough to see the traffic rounding all those dunes. One of those trucks is going the wrong way. The overall leader coming into today was Eduard Nikolaev, whose day pretty much went in the direction of this dune. This Kamaz finished 8th, 23 minutes off the lead. Defending champion Gerard de Rooij raced 258 miles today in just under 5 hours, and the Dutchman collected his first stage win of the rally. But his margin of victory over Arat Mardiev, just 30 seconds. Dakar 2017 gets more intriguing each day. Karyakin leads the quads with only one top 3 finish thus far. Same story for Sotkunov in the trucks. As for the bikes, Quintanilla must feel like he's won the lottery as he's yet to feature in the top 3 on a stage. Speaking of bikes, a pair of two-wheel Dakar legends are atop the car class. That's called career longevity. Stage 4 was the end of the road for 3 former champions, but for the remaining 250 competitors, the race is just gearing up, and Stage 5 brings 430 breathless miles along the Andes Plain in Bolivia. Join us tomorrow at an earlier time, 12 noon Eastern, for more Dakar Rally. For our entire NBC Sports team, I'm Lee Diffie, saying thanks for taking the Dakar journey with us. The Dakar Rally is relentless.